Hello, everybody. This is Kyrix, and I am bringing you more This Week in Kyrix. Get down, Willow. Today is Wednesday, September 13th of 2017, and I'm back on XSplit, although not as before. I am on an upgraded version for reasons that I don't fucking know why I'm back on the original version. Or, I don't even know. Hold on a second. Let me collect my thoughts here. I am on. I had to download it because I had a version that was on my external. That's like, no, you need this codec to run it. Tried to get that codec, couldn't find that codec. So I'm like, okay, let me try the Gamecaster. That thing is balls. Basically, it's worthless unless you have a thing for it, a license, which I don't feel like paying for when this is free. So then I go back and find this, which was mysteriously missing the last time I looked for it, but here it is. And now this works. The setup is quite different from what I was working with before, but that's because before I didn't allow it to be upgraded, and now I did, because I didn't really have a fucking choice in the matter. Okay, this is an uneventful week, aside from the fact that I survived the hurricane. Seriously though, this hurricane jacked Florida up. Even my own Pinellas County got royally screwed. I have exactly one friend in Florida that I know and talk to, on or off Facebook, that got out of this without losing power like I did. I mean, I didn't lose power either. That's two people that I know in this state that didn't lose power. Everyone else did. And or cable, which I lost cable for about 10 hours. Lots of other people, much further south, Pinellas County most likely got spared this, lost homes, and some of them likely lost lives, and that is not fucking cool. I like to gloss over shit, but that's a big deal. When it hit the lower parts, it was category. Well, when it hit the Keys, it was like a 5. I think it dropped down to a 3, maybe a low 4 by the time it actually struck Florida proper. I'm a little casual about it because we had, at worst, a category 2 by the time it hit us. Now, for those who don't know, who aren't in Florida, we really don't sweat category 1s and 2s. I walked the dog in the category 1 winds we had. My friend has been known to smoke cigarettes out in those winds. I mean, tropical storms, we don't pay that shit any mind at all. Category 1, maybe we pay attention. It has to get to Category 3 before we even start to notice, really. As a result, there was no hero clicks. Or there is no hero clicks this week, later today. This is being recorded like 3:53 in the morning. Later today, there is no hero clicks because lots of people have to clean shit up. There's traffic issues and all that. There was no Pokemon today. The library is closed until further notice, which is balls, because as I told my friend in California, I was denied my weekly human contact because of that. That being said, I've been getting caught up on YouTube shit. I've been playing Pokemon X, which I rented because I'm trying to get a Xerneas. Because I don't really have a good Xerneas. I just have secondhand shit that I get from other people. So this time I'm catching one for myself. And a Mewtwo X. Because I could get one via Pokemon Bank with my, what's it called? Pokemon Blue, the Poke Transporter. But then I can't teach it the moves I want it to know via the Move Learner. So that's out. So I'm like, fuck it, let me rent Pokemon X, and I'm also going to rent Alpha Sapphire again, even though I own the game, so I can get the legendaries and shit off that game as well. So I haven't made any progress in my teams anyway, really. Oh, what else? I made a purchase that I feel disgusted by. I own Final Fantasy 6, or no, not 6, 7 and 8. I own Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8. I also bought Parasite Eve 2, because I never played it. Never beat the first one either, though I do own it now. I will actually relatively soon begin the Let's Plays of Final Fantasy 7 and 8, because quite frankly I have nothing else to do until I can get the shit off the old hard drive. I mean, hell, even if I can get someone to patchwork the fucking power source together long enough to get shit migrated, you know. Then I can get my schedules back. That's the real bitch. I can't even if all my shit was up to date, my schedules are on the computer and not on the external, so I don't even know when shit's supposed to upload. So I will basically put things that say, hey, there was an issue with my upload schedule. Shit happened. If you're seeing this video, yada, yada yada yada. I will do 7 and 8 because odds are pretty good that I'll be able to rescue my hard drive and get everything back on track before it becomes necessary to fuck with anything else. On the off chance that is not the case, I want to have backup shit. And I really want to get these out of the way anyway. I have been dying to know, because it's been 10, 15 years, feels like, since I last played either of these games. And longer since I've really seen 7 played, not quite so long since I've seen parts of 8 played, because Super Genius did a playthrough that I was watching for a while. And for some reason I stopped. I don't know why. I need to watch it again. So I need to know, I need to answer the question, the burning question. Are these games as bad as I remembered? Because here's the thing. There was a time when I loved both of these games dearly. And then I very quickly grew the fuck out of them. I think it was right around the time Final Fantasy IX came in. I'm like, oh wait, you can make a Final Fantasy on a modern system that isn't ass? Wow! And, you know, as much as I really do love my hatred of these games, I would like to go back. I would love that when the credits roll on 7 and 8, which, by the way, I've never really beaten before, I would love that when the credits of these games roll, for me to basically sit there and say, you know what, I was wrong. I feel bad for how I've treated these games, etc. I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll happen. Or I think I'm still gonna hate these games. But I'm prepared to try to be proved wrong. And even today, I guarantee you, there's shit about these games I do still love. You know, and 8's the true tragedy, because there's so much that could have gone right with 8 that just didn't. We'll get to that when we get to that. There's other shit I'm working on. There is a distinct chance that I might soon be able to do some 3DS games. I got a bit of a tip that may or may not pay off. I gotta do some investigating first. I am hot on the heels of trying to get a job. I'm gonna be trying to work for Walmart. I recently discovered that my friend's wife works at Walmart, so I'm going to put her as a reference. She's like, well, you know, they're all hiring. I'm like, I know, but I tried that once. I actually spoke to her during the hurricane, or the day before, because she's a Facebook friend, you know. She married one of my best friends, so why wouldn't I have her on there? Actually, that's not fair, because my best friend's wife is not necessarily on my Facebook, but then again, she and I have never really gotten along. This friend's wife and I are pretty cool with each other. We have some serious disagreements, but nothing that we ever lose a friendship over, you know. And I saw for the past week and a half, she's been really stressed about this hurricane, because she stresses about a lot. I never see it when I see her in person, but on Facebook she seems to stress a lot. And she was really getting stressed about the hurricane, so I decided to call and see, you know, if she was okay, try and help calm her down, etc. You know. And she seemed fine after that, so here's hoping that pretty soon I'll have a Walmart job. There's also still the small but distinct possibility that I could be working the same place my roommate is. Cross your fingers, you know. I have actually been passing the time with Empire at War, which I own both on disc and on Steam. I did the Steam version because it's less hoops to jump through if I want to do multiplayer. It's just, hey, you have this game, I have this game. Let us game together. And I don't have to worry about finding my CDs or looking for my CD key, because mine didn't fucking come with one. Not even making that up. Me and my friend bought them together at Office Depot. Or rather, he bought them both for us, because I'm like, oh, this game's awesome. If you buy a copy for me, I will play this with you because I love this game. His had a CD key inside. Mine did not. I had to fucking contact the company and get them to email me a CD key, which I still have on my external hard drive for that very reason. But yeah, I didn't want to fuck with that, so I bought it on Steam because it was cheap. There is a mod, a beautiful, beautiful mod, that turns the game into a Clone Wars game, and I have some issues with it. Like, certain places you can't build shit. Like, I can't build a heavy factory on every world, which pisses me off because I could in the other game. I can't build a research facility on any world. So if certain worlds are denied to me, I can't do them at all. Matter of fact, I just discovered yesterday what world the Trade Federation starts with a research facility because I didn't think they had one. I thought I literally had to steal a world to get that going. There are certain heroes that can only be built on certain worlds with no indication of what worlds those are until you accidentally stumble across them. Likewise, certain ships can only be built on certain worlds, which you have to discover. The Republic's super ship, the Pride of the Core, is easy enough to build, but I can't build the, I keep wanting to call it the Malevolence for the droids, the droid, fleets. I can't figure out where to build that. Likewise, when I'm playing the droids against the Republic, I see Victory Class and Imperial Class Star Destroyers showing up, and I cannot figure out where the fuck they're getting them from, because the Republic isn't supposed to have those. I took them down with very little difficulty. But still, I want to know where they're getting them, in case I want them later. The other problem is the game is horribly balanced, and the AI is aggressive as fuck. Like, on easy mode, I had a thing where it's like, okay, you have 5 minutes remaining to get this technology. Getting through that 5 minutes took me an hour and a half, because every 10 seconds they were starting another fight, and I had to do it, or I would lose the planet. Likewise, the game is so heavily weighed in the favor of the droids. I was describing this to Skinner, basically saying that if you make vulture droids or tri-droids, they literally, this fast, if you have it on fast forward. See the rate I'm snapping my fingers at? That's literally how quickly they build. I'm not even exaggerating. It's snap, 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 build, 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 build. And you can have, within 2 minutes of clicking, 150 vulture droids. And you can spawn almost all of those in, and you can pause the game and load in a fuck ton more. And you can swarm just about anything with that many droids. Likewise, you only start with like 2 or 3 of them, but when you can build them, the Trade Federation Lucra Hulk cruisers, which you will recognize as the donut-shaped Trade Federation battleships, are stupidly powerful. Because they, someone did their homework on these things. When I first saw the stats on these in the RPG books, they're terrifying. The sheer amount of firepower and droids and droid starfighters and fucking combat equipment these things carry. One of these is the equivalent of like 3 Venators and 2 Acclimators. It is literally a blockading fleet in and of itself. When you first watch episode 1 and you see like half a dozen of these things in orbit of Naboo, that is so much overkill it's not even funny. You might look at it and say, oh, well, they only have 1 there. I guess they must have pacified the planet. Here's the thing. That's not the pacification force. 1 ship is all you need to take a planet. And they seem to spawn... They spawn like a dozen or so fighters by themselves each time, fighters can go out. They'll have like a dozen or 14 or so out at a time. And when they blow up, they'll spawn more to replace them. Most ships can do this 2 or 3 times, and then they run out. The Lucra Hulks, as far as I can tell, do it forever, until your hangars are destroyed. If they keep blowing the ships up, the Lucra Hulks will keep launching them. I sent 10 of them out, and they can take a star system just with fighters. A tactic that I employ is I park a Lucre Hulk underneath my station, literally underneath it, so that it occupies the same space. Sorry about the hiccups. So that they occupy the same space, and it'll keep launching fighters, and the fighters will zoom out and attack threats, and any ships that come in will suffer dual firepower from the Lucre Hulk and the space station, and they chew up just about everything. I had one massive battle where I happened to have 10 of the things parked in orbit, or 11 of the things parked in orbit, rather. I lost 3. Or no, it was 4 in the end, I think. But the battle lasted 45 minutes, and I must have taken out something in the neighborhood of 20 big capital starships. I think I took out something like 19 different kinds of Star Destroyers. Like, I had a bunch of Venators, some Victories, and an Imperial or two. Like 19 Star Destroyers, and a bunch of miscellaneous ships and all the fighters they carried. And all it cost me was 3 or 4 ships. You know? I didn't even count Corvettes and fighters because, I mean, Corvettes are worthless. They really are. I've really never played a game where Corvettes mattered. I mean, I could send 50 Corvettes against a space station and they would get chewed the fuck up. They're not even worth it. I'm not even talking with all the shit the space station spawns in, and I'm not talking like a high-level space station. I'm talking like a level 2 space station with all of its summon shit off in the corner would chew these Corvettes up by itself. So I don't even count them. I don't even build them. I use what I have, and I never build more, you know? But, we're gonna see what kind of shit this laptop can handle. Maybe we'll see me play some Republic at War. Who knows? Probably not. It lags. The battles lag as it is, because there's so many units on screen. Oh, hi, California friend. You're hearing them talk to me on Skype. Apparently my friend is going to bed. I'm like, wait a second, you just woke up. Yeah, like I'm not known to stay awake for an hour and then go right back the fuck to sleep. But, anyway, I'm gonna make of that what I can. I'm gonna get those Final Fantasies done. I'm gonna watch me some videos, play some Pokemon, try to get a job, try and find some way to salvage my hard drive. One of the first purchases I'm gonna make, by the way, is a new external hard drive, because this one's only got like 100 gigs left. And for those of you who think, oh, that's a lot, no, it's not. This is 2 terabytes. I have 100 gigs left. It's like saying this is 2 gigabytes, I have 100 megabytes left. For those of you who don't know the conversion rate, that's effectively the same thing. I mean, honestly, alright, to put this in numbers, 1,000 megabytes is a gigabyte, 1,000 gigabytes is a terabyte. I have 2,000 gigabytes of data. 100 gigabytes of that is left. Apparently my friend is like, well, I was still tired when I got up, then I had wine. I'm like, you're turning into Jeff. Hug the dragon, Surfer Jeff. Jeff was one of my players in D&D, and he was a lot of fun. Jeff was cool. I wish I still had his contact info. I'd like to just hang out and chat with Jeff. You know, he was so fun, because he would drink wine, and as he drank wine, he would drink wine during the night, and as the night went on, his decisions would get worse and worse, and that made for some great, memorable moments. Just telling me to shush now. But yeah, the hug the dragon thing, he decided, of his own accord, that he wanted to make his player, or his character, grapple-based, for reasons. There were no reasons for it, but he wanted to do it, so he started taking all these grapple feats. The first thing he ran into was a dragon, and he decides he's going to grapple the dragon. I'm like, oh, there are so many things wrong with this. And he pointed out that by the rules, the dragon he was fighting was only one size bigger than he was, so he could restrain it, which was by the rules. However, I pointed out that the dragon still has wings. So he's still going to carry him up into the sky, and now what? You know? Sure, he can't walk, but he has other options. But yeah, it was... We all love Jeff. Jeff was a cool guy. You know, I might try and dig up my old emails and see if I can still find his info. That would be fun. But yeah, that's the update for the week. I feel kind of shit this week because, not me personally, I mean the update's kind of shit because, first off, I already did the hurricane update video, 2 of them in fact, to tell people, hey, hurricane's gonna hit, hey, I'm still alive. And nothing fucking happened this week except the hurricane, so I have nothing to talk about. There was no hero clicks, because I think I covered that last time, because I think I did it at like 11 at night last week. There was no Pokemon this week, so what the fuck am I going to talk about? But thank you for listening. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.